The following is a presentation of the ForceCenter podcast feed.
As Obi-Wan Kenobi once said, hello there, and welcome to Databank Brawl, the podcast where we learn about Star Wars characters, discuss them, share our feelings about those characters, and then make them fight for our amusement and yours. I am your host. My name is Joseph Scrimshaw. With me, as always, is Ken Napzok.
Well, sir, this is a great time to be here today because I'm ready to fight.
You just in a fighting mood?
No, I don't know. I've just been grumpy lately, so I don't want to translate into my Databank Brawl.
Oh, no, we can have a grumpy brawl. This can be just just sick of all this BS.
Yeah,
because I understand.
Just
I understand.
do this.
The grumpy is strong with us. Maybe they'll come out today. That might work with some of these characters.
Oh?
Yeah. We'll see. We don't have any whiskey today, but I think we're both very tired, so we'll still probably slip and say the wrong thing. So it's like whiskey is here.
I've had too much caffeine already.
Whiskey is just very delicious being tired, right?
Yes.
Isn't it? Anyway, this week we've had a big premiere of a new Star Wars television show, Star Wars Resistance, and I figured, why not just dive right in? Because they threw a bunch of characters up on the databank.
Oh,
so I was like, why the hell not? And I admit, I put this fight together before I watched those first 3 episodes. We didn't actually learn much about these characters, so we're going to be fighting in the blind, the grumpy blind.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah, so we're just going to dive right in. Why not? It's the spirit of Star Wars. Just jump off and see how you land. Are you ready for our first combatant?
I hope it's not Aunt Z, because I like Aunt Z.
Our first combatant is Aunt Z.
Yeah!
Yep. She just sang to me as a Databank Brawl type character of like, well, seems significant, but not going to be in every single episode.
Right.
All that stuff. Here's what the Databank says. Patrons at Aunt Z's Tavern, the most popular eatery on the Colossus platform, stop in for a quick drink or bite to eat. And the wise advice of the owner, Aunt Zivakathasrikazgaz. Insightful to a fault and sometimes brazenly blunt, Aunt Z's charismatic personality has been known to break up a bar fight, quash a robbery, and stoke friendly and profitable wagers on race days. I apologize to Aunt Z. I cannot even begin to attempt to pronounce the apostrophe and consonant-filled name that she has. Her full name. Clearly why she's Aunt Z.
Right.
It's hard to say.
So, okay. There's not a lot there.
On Wikipedia?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. I learned something, though. I learned something right away on Wikipedia. I thought she was... Is she
in Unkar plot?
Yeah.
Kroll-like?
Kroll? Okay.
Does it say on Wikipedia?
Yeah, so it's confusing me. This is why we do the show sometimes. So her species is listed as Gilliland.
Okay, I think that's different than Unkar plot.
Right. So you click on that, you follow that link, and then it does have something from Unkar plot.
Yeah, a Krullet. Crolute.
You sent a holo of a female. This is a quote from Unkar plot. You sent a holo of a female Krullet. No such thing. Krulets are exclusively male. The Gillilands on my planet, they're the female ones.
There we go.
There's the answer I was looking for.
Where's that from?
That is a quote from Unkar plot in a story called True Love, a short story by Landry Q. Walker that is published inside the anthology Tales from a Galaxy Far, Far Away.
Okay.
Aliens, Volume 1.
Okay, yes. I'm familiar with that work. I haven't read it yet. But yeah, it's the good short stories. We've got a bunch of other cool characters from Force Awakens.
Okay.
Nice. So that answers the question. Different species, but the female partner of the other, yeah. So it's just a species that's so gender divided, like we're not even going to use the same species name. So you see what at least one example of the males are like. No wonder Aunt Z is like, yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm good.
No, I need a separate name for my gender.
I'm good.
Anything else on Wikipedia about Aunt Z? Do they flesh out anything more than...
they definitely have not had the chance yet. So her name, Z apostrophe VK apostrophe THKRKZA.
Zvikthurkska.
Yeah.
No, see it. Yeah. Zvikthurkska.
Yeah, as Aunt Z herself says, this should be good. We'll go with that.
Is that her quote?
That's her quote. This should be good.
I love that it's so early in Resistance that her databank description describes her doing things that we have not yet seen her do.
Right.
What we saw her do in Resistance is be super invested in the competition and wanting people to make bets about everything, to the point where, contrary to your standard sort of bar running character who would be like, no fighting in here. Oh, my dishes. You know, she's like, great. Anybody got any money on who's going to kill this kid first? Like,
I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's a great twist and a great subversion.
There's this thing Poe kind of describes this polite scum and villainy kind of setting, and this is a great example. She's taking bets. She's having people thrown off to their
She's no one to
death.
mess with, right? Yeah.
Because Niku says, there's big things that eat little things in that water, and that's one of the first things you see when you hit the Colossus is the character, that one big guy throwing someone off. So she's a little vicious, but she's just got some. Imagine her going like, "You want some ham and grits? Come on in,
yeah,
come on in."
And it seems like it might be her edict, her rule that it's if you get thrown off by her, it's face first. That was like one of those funny details, like face first too.
Yes.
Yeah, so I really like. Do you have up on Wikipedia the actor's name?
Does not say it. Her name is Tova. I can look it up.
Yeah,
here.
I don't have her name memorized. But the actor has appeared in a bunch of things. She's been on Walking Dead. She is Rachel's mother on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, which I think is a hilarious show.
Tova Feldschuh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. I should make sure that I'm not talking out of my not talking parts. But yeah.
Yes. Well, she was in Brewster's Millions. All right.
Yep, that's her.
That's her.
Yeah, so so I'm hoping that we get to see more of her, because the little bit that we saw I thought was really, really fun and interesting. And also, definitely got some Maz Kanata in her of like, I am the old wise one who, maybe at a quiet moment you'll come to for wisdom.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, she's been in a lot of things. Quite a catalog of work there.
Yeah, yeah.
Great. Okay. Yeah. Tova Feldschuh.
Yeah. So any other, there's so little for us to go on compared to normal. Any other thoughts or feelings about the character of Aunt Z?
Well, to that point, there's not a lot in Resistance, so you're going to gravitate to things on a gut kind of emotional level, and I already want to see more of this character.
Yeah.
I love that we have a new cantina with some new bar games and all that kind of stuff in Star Wars. It's a Star Wars tradition, but here's kind of a version. It's not Wuher, it's not Akmena, it's her own thing, and I like that a lot, and love the design of the character too.
Yeah. She's managing some sad Saxon weirdos who are there every day.
She's got an arm tattoo.
Oh, does she? Yeah.
She does.
Yeah, let's do a good physical description for people who haven't watched the show.
She is bigger boned lady, ample bosom, Unkar plot face with a little more rouge on it, but she's also got this cool little helmet looks like goggles with some earpieces.
Oh, yeah.
And kind of like Unkar plot, he's got his own kind of armor. She's got some like shoulder pad kind of armor.
Yeah.
And orange and brown and off-white kind of top, like a lot of earth tones, like she's from Jakku.
Yeah.
She spent some time on Jakku. So she got a little looks like a lipstick in the design. I don't think she's wearing lipstick, but it comes across as that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even though it's a cantina, there's just a little bit more of the sort of classic Americana diner vibe from her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I like that a lot.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm big on Aunt Z. Can't wait to see more. It was one of my favorite scenes is her encouraging the betting. So we're gonna move on to her combatant.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am.
You guessed Aunt Z correctly. Do you want to take a guess? On who the
No,
other
I feel like I stepped on your punchline.
No, not at all.
As a comic fellow, I feel bad about that. So
no, that was great.
I'm gonna guess it's the old guy at the bar.
The old guy at the bar. I wish. Our next combatant is Bucket.
Oh, wow. Caught me mid-drink, and I love it.
Here's what StarWars.com has to say. A battered, decrepit old droid addled by outdated, glitching programming. Bucket has been Jarek Yeager's loyal astromech for years. Despite the droid's eccentric behavior, Bucket is a capable mechanic. So not as much there in the databank or on the show. As I was watching it, I already picked him. I was like, come on, more Bucket, more Bucket. Give me some Bucket. Like, look, I like BB-8. I love BB-8. Yeah. Give me some Bucket. And then Bucket is a little bit more in that third episode. Yeah, no, there's a little more. And I think we'll get some more Bucket. And you and I were discussing off air and a little bit on the main show this week. BB-8's got some things to do. Yeah, canonically, he's got to get out the way. He's got to go. So Bucket might be the droid on the show. Yeah. And the one that Kaz sits on. Who I also like. Oh, I like that one a lot too. Actually, that was really cool because it shows up again. So we'll see more of that droid. Seat droid. R1J5 coming with Bucket, nothing new there. And I'm trying because I know he says the Bucket was 100 years old already. Yeah. When he got the droid, and so we've got to imagine he's maybe got 30 years plus from that. Yeah. And I love that detail of like that old equipment doesn't break down. Yeah, it's like my grandfather's still driving his Mitsubishi car that he's working on every week. He's 94. I love what we got with Bucket so far. The description of this character, because there's no real dimensions here or anything on the databank or on the Wikipedia yet. Described an astromech droid. We got the short, squat body. We got the three legs, one with the wheel. That kind of classic thing, but it's that prequel C-3PO version in Phantom Menace, with the skin off, it's very bare bones, and I don't know if that's by design or things have just fallen off. It feels a little like your hubcaps came off and you haven't put them back on, because why? And then the head is it's not classic astromech head. It's almost like Rex, who drove the Star Tours originally. And I wonder if that's just a different astromech head, or if that's the same thing. Like, the dome got ripped off, but the main central part of the head's still there. Yeah, actually, you're right. It was almost like the dome could have it's got the eye sensor, the classic R2 eye sensor, the astromech eye sensor. But it could be, we don't know, because he's got this flight helmet on. The effing best thing about him, honestly. I loved him since they revealed him, of that weird attachment to the helmet, and I think why he's called Bucket, right? Yeah, and it's got if it's Team Fireball, looks like it has two fireballs on the helmet. Not Fireball whiskey for the show here, but you really like Super Mario. Orange. It looks a lot. Yeah, orange markings, a white helmet with gray on the inside, and then the orange kind of fireball marking. So that's what Bucket looks like. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about how he reacted to him, because he's really in the background in the first two episodes, and then in the third episode, when spoilers for people who haven't watched it yet, when Yeager's more private private garage is being intruded upon, Bucket's whizzing around there concerned, and honestly, his droid noises made him sound more dog-like than I've ever heard a droid sound. He was much more like a guard dog, like a loyal guard dog. Like that old pooch sitting on the porch guarding the property there. I like that a lot. Yeah. What did you think of him? Because I was just looking for, he looks so cool. You can infer things based on wearing that helmet and being with Yeager for so long. Right. But I'm looking for, who is he? Who is he, right? And we'll learn more about... Chopper famously grew on us as a brand here at ForceCenter. Absolutely. We might have been against Chopper a little bit. I certainly was. Called him Chopper the Fartbot. My apologies to Dave Filoni, who did the Fartbot voice. But Chopper grew. Yeah. Chopper grew as a character, and he's a crusty old war veteran and all this stuff. Bucket, I think I'm already more in Team Bucket than I was in Team Chopper early on. And look, every show has the droid, but this one happens to have BB-8. So Bucket's kind of there in the sidelines. I want Bucket to shine. Yeah. I love that when Yeager said, 100 years old at least, I'm really intrigued by that. The stories this droid could tell. Yeah. I get the sense, this is what I want it to be. Who knows what'll happen? That Bucket's definitely been with him through Yeager's time in the Rebellion. Yep. And that he's still wearing that helmet. It's not a Rebellion helmet necessarily. It's more this racing team, the team he's on now. Right. But, is Bucket constantly chirping at Yeager back in that private area, come on, let's just get in this other ship you have, and let's just go for a race. Let's just, is it going to be Bucket who squeak barks at Yeager to say, come on, get back in the fight?
It could be. Could be. I like that a lot. I still think that's an X-Wing back there. It's a total guess.
Yeah.
Maybe Bucket wants to get in the X-Wing one final time with Jarek Yeager.
Yeah.
Good.
That'd be awesome. Maybe it's a speeder.
Yeah.
Ooh. That'd be awesome. Anyway, so those are our combatants. We got Aunt Z versus Bucket. Let's fight. It's already a cruel one because we like both of these characters.
It's already. I love it.
Yeah.
I think this has to be on the Colossus.
Absolutely.
I think in spirit of celebrating Resistance, and Colossus is a great setting. It's one of my favorite things about the show. So I think we have a natural situation.
Absolutely.
For them to interact, meet, and fight.
Yeah. So do we want to set this maybe like right before the events of the first episode of Star Wars Resistance, before Kaz gets there, before BB-8 shows up and takes the spotlight?
Yeah, I don't want BB-8 to step on the glory here, Bucket.
Yeah, stay out of the way.
So I like that a lot.
I foolishly tried to Google Star Wars Bucket, and it's mostly just popcorn
buckets,
holders that look like the Death Star.
Darth Vader trash cans you can order. Sure.
Yeah, you can put your candy in Darth Vader's head. Anyway, I wanted some inspiration by looking at him, but let's get into our narrative. Mm-hmm. So, do you think Bucket has been... Do you want this to happen in Aunt Z's tavern, or is this happening somewhere else on the Colossus?
I think it begins in the kitchen of the tavern.
Ooh.
The reason I say this is I think Aunt Z... it's funny because in real life I say aunt more. I'm not an aunt guy. I'm an aunt guy. My aunt lives in Eagle Rock. So Aunt Z, I love that it's specifically that. Aunt Z, I think she needs some supplies, some food, something, and it's late. And I think Bucket maybe on the side runs a little side business where he delivers supplies from the market, little fish heads or something.
Yeah, he's trying to get more money, right? Right.
Yeager, he's doling out money for his team, but if we've learned from Tam, like they don't have a lot of money by the time Kaz rolls around.
Yeah. So you think that is he stealing something from the tavern, or is he making a delivery to the tavern?
I think he's making a delivery, but maybe there's something wrong there. It's late.
Okay.
Delivery's late. Something happened.
Okay, yeah.
And Aunt Z's not happy.
Yeah, I like this. I think that maybe, since we also saw these, the Gorgs, the food that is adorable, that they even kind of point out.
Yes.
That is also, the name is very close to porg. Some stuff going on there.
Yep.
I like the idea that maybe Bucket is stealing 2 Gorgs.
Okay.
To bring to Aunt Z.
I like that.
So they're making noise, but Bucket is old and accomplished, and he's using his droid dog voice. He's kind of growling back at the Gorgs, so they're in submission. He's got two things, little hand things that have shot out of his, astromechs and their appendages. I don't need to tell you.
And the Gorgs are in bags or something. Where say again where you want the Gorgs?
I think he's got them like held out in front of him so they can see his face.
Okay,
and he's like growling at them, so they're in submission.
Got it. And they're little Gorg guys.
Yeah. And he think, I've done this before. Yeager wouldn't like it, but that's fine. I'm just going to roll back here. And I think he sees something shocking.
He rolls into the kitchen there, and Aunt Z herself is standing there, and she's got kind of like a space utensil, like she's going to make a space pizza, like a roller. It's and she's sitting there and she's like, "You're late. I got customers. I got stuff to do. We got a race going on. I got to take bets. I need these Gorgs. Where have you been, Bucket?"
And I think Bucket is like, which is probably not accurate to the show I've watched once, but it's a fun noise to make. And I think it's basically just saying like, hey, you know what? It's a hard platform. I had to wait until they closed. I had to dodge this angry Alina, whatever. And they're kind of having their back and forth, and suddenly, beep, 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 a device goes off, and suddenly there is an open channel of communication where Aunt Z's secret lover, a male crowloot, redundant, males, all crowloots are males,
a crowloot,
just pops on, like, hello, baby. Now, this is Aunt Z's. She says she lives her life loud and proud.
Yes.
But she doesn't want other people knowing about this relationship.
Yeah. And this, her Crowloot lover is Buka
de Beppo.
Buca de Beppo. Absolutely. Buca de Beppo. He's Italian. He's generally served in family sizes. And he's like, hey, baby, what are you doing?
And Auntie's like, wah! And she throws that space utensil you're talking about.
Yeah, space roller.
Tries to turn it off, but she actually just hits the volume button, so it starts broadcasting even louder. So people are starting to hear a little something out there, and even though it's late, there's still a couple.
Yeah.
You know, the big guy with the big mustache is sitting there drinking away his sorrows.
Yeah, and he's when the Death Star hits your eye, that's some more rain. Baby, I miss ya. When you gonna take a leave from the Colossus?
And then Bucket does what so often leads to fights. He laughs. He's charmed. He's like,
and Aunt Z's mortified. She's embarrassed. She's confused.
yep.
And I think she just wheels around and just flings that space roller right at Bucket's face.
That's right. And I think it hits his helmet, and the helmet spins. This is rough. And now she's running back, and she's slamming the cancel on this call. And I think Buca de Beppo is like, do you want me to come over? And she's having a hard time getting it turned off for some reason.
Yeah.
And
you can't turn me off, baby, once I'm on.
And Bucket, in his shock, releases the Gorgs.
Oh,
and in fact, doesn't just drop. He drops one. Another one is flung through the air, and I think latches on to Aunt Z's body somewhere.
I was going to say right on that big nose.
Right on her face.
Little flippers right on that nose. And, she's
wow.
like, and it's like, little, I don't know if Gorgs have, Gorgs
had the little teeth, right?
Little teeth and claws. I don't know, but there's blood being drawn. There's some Gilliland blood being drawn.
Right. And now, because she didn't actually realize that it was she herself who caused this, she thinks Bucket has assaulted her, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Would you fling this at me? Like, what are you doing? So she tries to rip off the Gorg.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's the sound they make. In my mind, they do. She starts flinging around the kitchen. And
she's tossing Gorg.
And she's knocking into pots and pans. And you cut to the bar outside. People hear, but no one's like gonna go in. Like,
no,
you don't
mess with that.
And she ends up just finally ripping it off and throwing it. The Gorg across the room. I don't know why I want to call them Gorts, but Gorgs, and it lands in a big pot that's not cooking, it's not boiling, but just lands in a pot.
But the Gorg's happy there, so that's one Gorg down. Another
Yes.
Gorg is running mad,
right?
And I think she says to Bucket, like, "No one attacks me in my own tavern, much less in the kitchen of my tavern, without a part of them being cooked. I'm cooking you, and I'm giving myself odds, 100-0. I'm gonna kill you."
Droid stew. So she grabs a space meat cleaver.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a little Dryden Voss little electro thing on the end.
Yeah, a filament.
Filament. There you go. And starts chasing him.
She is
in a comical circle around
chopping him. Yeah, and he starts barking, right?
Yeah.
And I think that he's seen combat, right?
Yes.
And I think he knows his way around a fight. Mm-hmm. So what he does is he looks like he's just running in absolute confusion and terror, but what he's doing is actually quite strategic.
Yeah.
So she's chopping, she's getting close. She gets a little bit off of the top of his leg, actually.
Right.
But he's strategically bumping into every fluid. He's knocking fluid over, and then when there's just a little sheen of various fluids, an appendage flops out.
Yeah.
It's old and tired, and it hits the ground, and he gets that prod, electricity into the water.
Electrifies the water. He truly is the astromech of an X-Wing pilot to me, what you're describing.
This is strategy.
Yeah.
He learned. He fought in the Battle of Jakku, I think.
I think in my mind he did too. So he electrifies the water. She steps into it.
Yeah.
Slips and is electrocuted.
Sure.
And she does a comical, legs up in the air, lands on her back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now people are smelling something. And I think one of those drunks is like, what? That smells great.
It smells great.
What is she cooking?
New meal here today.
And I think Buca de Beppo is still crying out,
on the
baby, what's going on?
Answer me.
Are you having a fight back there? Are you having some sort of tournament?
Is someone else there in your life? I thought I was the only one, baby.
Yes. I think from his angle, all he sees is a helmet zipping by
yeah.
Are you cheating on me with a very short pilot?
Is that better not be Nine Numb? But Nine Numb's pretty tall in Force Awakens.
But he can squat. Yeah. Is that Nine Numb squatting down? Or a short pilot?
He better not be there again.
So now, what do you think? Does Bucket believe that he's going to die enough that he goes in to attack more, or is Aunt Z able to retaliate right away? What do you think happens physically?
I think she's squirming around on the ground, getting electrocuted in the water there, and it's not a lot of electric.
No, it's not going to last forever.
It's just a little fun cattle prod to the butt there. But I think Bucket, in his mind, Bucket maybe thinks message received, right?
Yeah.
You get on Z, stop. It's almost like stay down.
Yeah.
The old Kids in the Hall sketch. But on Z rolls to her side, props herself up, and looks at him she's like, oh, now you did it.
Oh, it's on.
It's on.
Okay.
Grabs a pot nearby, flings it at him.
Okay.
Again, second item she's flung at him.
Okay, she's good at flinging items. She knows that's the best thing to do in a bar fight. Keep your distance and throw an item.
Right. Defensive distance, as they say, and hits in. He has like a framework. His little frame.
Yeah, but he's kind of open in there.
He's open. So boom, it hits. And it kind of busts the frame of his astromech body a little bit.
So it's even more open and unprotected?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that. And I think Bucket looks down in shock.
Right.
It's like he doesn't have any vanity, but he does still need some supporting structure. His body's going to fall apart, right?
Yeah, it's a little functional.
So I think he actually kind of limps to one side a little bit, and he's a little uneven now and has to kind of walk weird with his three legs trying to keep him going. And I think he was so proud of this movie. He's that'll take care of it. And now maybe he realizes, I'm always trying to figure out how humans feel. And I'm aware that Yeager is upset because some humans aren't in his life anymore. Humans are very sensitive about the other humans who are not in their life. Is this about this call with this other organic?
Yeah.
So I think Bucket kind of tries to zip over there
to the communicator. Okay,
yeah, and try to see if maybe she wants this signal boosted so she can. So I think he tries to start. He's messing with it, and again increasing the volume. It's shaping up more, and this is only pissing off Aunt Z more.
Right.
So here's what I think she does.
Okay.
She's had a moment to recover.
Right.
I think she scoops up that loose Gorg, the one that's still running around.
Right.
And she realizes now Bucket's internal workings are so open. Right. And she just, with all of her might, leaps across the room and jams the Gorg deep into Bucket.
And the Gorg starts chewing on some of the wiring.
Yeah. Chewing on the power cables.
Yeah. And this causes Bucket to start to, just kind of freak out a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
He almost, when R2 gets shot in Return of the Jedi in the bunker where he shoots back.
Yeah, and all the
appendages come out. Yeah, a lot of that's happening right now. It's quite a scene there.
Yeah.
And Auntie's like, ha, 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 gotcha now. Starts rumbling, bumbling, stumbling over his direction.
And what is Buca de Beppo saying?
Baby, I forgive you. If it's 9 again, you tell 9 that I said hello. We can all get along here. Baby, come on.
I like that he's open.
He's like, well, it's
Book
fine.
of the Beppo's open to different ideas.
Different ideas. Come
Yeah,
on.
hold on. We could talk. 9's fun. 9, he's a good drinker.
We're setting some really interesting headcanon here.
That's right. So now I think Bucket's got to fight for his life. He thinks he is going to die. I think that he holds back something that he hasn't used in decades.
Okay.
He's not even sure if it works anymore. In fact, he's pretty sure it doesn't. He's afraid to try it.
Right.
And that is to fire his leg rockets.
So funny. You and I both watched Star Wars too much because I was thinking, I wonder if he has leg rockets. Yes.
Yeah, they rust
on
out, you know? And it's just like the Fireball, the ship that he works on. Like
Right.
if you use them, you might. So I think he... and all this like rust and junk. And I think he fires them up in a desperate attempt to both attack Aunt Z, get rid of the Gorg. But what happens?
So he launches. Both rockets are firing.
Oh, wow. Firing on all 2 rockets.
And all of a sudden, the left one. And now he's left with the right one. He goes veering off. Boom. And then hits the bucket with the other Gorg in it. That Gorg's flying now. And he starts knocking utensils off. He's bouncing off the wall. But he's able to spin around. And all of a sudden, the other one comes back to life. And this serves as a distraction to Aunt Z. She's, my kitchen! That's my kitchen! And he flies straight on into her.
Oh, he just bucket butts her.
Yeah. And it's racing right towards her face. It's almost like comic book guy in The Simpsons with that rocket's coming at him. He's like, I've wasted my life. It's flying right at her. I don't know what happens, though.
Okay. I think that he's never meant the helmet this way, but it is like a big boxing glove.
Yes.
I think he just cold cocks her right across the face. But she's an old fighter, and she knows to roll with it. So I think there's this just titanic, painful, if it was in slow motion, you'd see her face ripple.
Right.
And Buck's like, but she rolls with it, does a full spin, reaches out, grabs his legs.
Yeah. Oh, I like it.
And this makes him go flying totally off course.
Yeah.
Smashes out of the kitchen.
Yes.
Into the main.
Into
tavern,
the bar.
Right?
Everyone's like, oh!
Ah!
And like, so they're flying around. They do a couple passes.
Yeah, and people are like, this is, we didn't know that Aunt Z still put on a floor show.
Yeah. Interrupts a space dart game.
Yeah, they get some darts peppered into them.
Yeah, someone's taking that little like goat-like character. It's like, bah, and his drink gets knocked out.
Yeah.
The seat droid gets knocked over. The old guy with the bushy mustache doesn't move, sitting there.
Unfazed. Yeah, for sure.
The big guy, I forget his name. He has the Rathtar tattoo. I don't know. I forget what his name is. He's the seller of the Gorgs.
He works at the Gorg booth.
And he's like, there's the 2 of my Gorgs. That's my merchandise.
And I think one of the Gorgs who's been messing around, the Gorg that's still messing around in Bucket, sees him like, ah! My captor. Ah! So actually, I think this is probably a good point to pause in our combat as we often do, and decide who we think would win, who we want to win morally, all those things.
I mean, morally, I think Bucket, he's fine here. I think he just was doing work. He was a little late.
There was a misunderstanding.
She's a lovable character, but she's also cantankerous, and maybe could learn to calm it down a little bit.
Yeah, right. She is profiting off people's pain sometimes.
Exactly.
She gives great advice. Sometimes she quashes a robbery. I can't wait to see that episode. Or breaks up a bar fight, but sometimes she allows them too.
Yeah.
Entertainment. So
I think Bucket is my emotional winner.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 So he's the emotional victor. Do you want him to win the actual combat?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I think yes. As they're flying around, immediately some people spring into action and they're like, what's the action? And
Oh,
there's
yeah,
all
for
these
sure.
bets going on.
Yeah, and I think maybe that's the key to his victory. Because I agree with you. I think I want to give this to Bucket.
Yeah.
I think maybe in an actual fight, Aunt Z probably has a lot up her sleeves, more than just that tattoo, and could probably beat Bucket.
Essentially, yeah.
But I think maybe she realizes she is in the wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think happens when everybody starts placing those yelling bets?
Well, see, they bet on Aunt Z.
Ooh.
Everyone's like it because what you just described.
Oh, yeah.
They bet on Aunt Z. But Bucket, as he is flying around, he's got a little bit more control. And I think he is able to lead Aunt Z towards the dartboard. And curves up at the last moment and just rams her head into the bullseye. She goes tumbling into the machine. The machine comes crashing down, and she lets go of her grip. So Bucket flies off, loses control a little bit.
Yeah.
Some things. The old guy doesn't move.
Yeah.
Bucket hits the bar. It slides across the bar, knocking drinks over, and the old guy just happens to lift up his drink as Bucket goes slinging by.
And I think it's at this point that she realizes, oh, people are making these wages. They think that this is a cool thing, actually.
Right.
And she shouts something out in the language of the Crolutes in, what is she?
Gilliland?
I was going to say a Gregorian. No, she's a Gilliland.
Yeah.
I think she shouts out that is not understood by many other species, but Buca de Beppo hears it.
Right.
And what he heard is, call this other alien who's in the tavern, place a bet against me.
Oh, yeah.
And she is going to throw the fight.
Excellent.
Because that's how good she is at this.
I could never bet against you, baby. But he does.
But he does. He calls one of the other patrons who's hanging out there. Let's say it's one of the Snaggletooths.
Okay. Yeah, one of the bookkeeper for the day.
Yeah, bookkeeper for the day. And
Bookie.
Bookie, and takes the bet. Yeah, and she knows it's going to happen real fast, but she makes a show out of it. She's like, this droid disrespected me, and I'm gonna, you know what? I got a bunch of respect in my fists, and I'm gonna put it into this little bucket.
Right.
She brings up her fist. She's circling. Bucket's just like, he is droid languaging. No, why? He's still got the Gorg in him, and I think as she comes at him, she's swinging and she's kind of landing some hits. She's powerful, so she can actually punch metal and dinging him up a little bit.
Yeah,
and Bucket, I think, realizes that in order to live, he must attack. I think that he has, as many astromech things might do, if you have a part of your kind of internal droid organs that's malfunctioning,
right,
you can eject it.
Yes,
and I think he ejects basically his droid liver. However, droids work.
Fitting for this show.
Yep. Knowing the Gorg is chewing on it.
Yep.
So basically launches a part of himself and the Gorg out of his open body right into Aunt Z.
Yes. Much like the ancient lesson of hit the nose. If you hit a Gilliland right on the nose, it's like a knockout punch.
Yeah.
Boom. So right at the right angle, boom. She's out.
She gets a droid liver. And I think, in fact, people who watch this closely are like, did she lean into that? It's so close. There are two different. There's a Gorg flying at her, and I think was she avoiding the Gorg or was she leading into the droid liver? And
you'll have to review the holo security footage later on.
Yeah, but for some reason this stuff it's corrupted now. A couple.
Yeah,
a little bit later.
The file can't be found.
She gets cracked, right, and down she goes. Boom.
Yep. And it's just it's like the start of it's like the Ravager crashing on Jakku. It just boom.
Yeah.
Everyone Gorg blood, everything. It's a mess. But she's out cold. She's on the ground, and Bucket is standing tall as he can.
As tall as he can. And he's wounded, and he just barks. I was like, this was not what I wanted. He turns and he zips away. He folds those rockets in and prays that he'll never have to use them again because he could have exploded.
Right.
And I think he zips away. And I think, in general, people thought this was really cool. I think they go...
Yeah.
There's some loyalty to Auntzie, right? They go in, they wake her up, they patch her up.
Yeah, they patch her up. But then they look, they're like, all right. And all of a sudden the Dons in the mall, they all just lost their money.
Yeah.
And the little snaggletooth guy's like, pay up, everybody. And on the other end of the line, Boca de Beppo is like, oh, now I can take you out for a nice dinner, Auntzie.
And Auntzie is just barely coming back to her senses. And she just is like... And I think on that defeated sigh, we go to credits. Do you have a post-credit scene idea?
Yeah, we fade into moments before Kaz and everyone walks in to the tavern for the first time, and someone's like, "Hey, Auntzie, how you?" She's like, "Shut up, shut up. No one talks about that." And he just whoa, and the hush over the bar. All new dartboard. Everything's there.
Everything repaired.
Everything's there. We just don't discuss it.
Nobody speaks about it.
Yeah.
But business has increased massively because every day people secretly hope for another of the greatest brawls they ever saw.
Ever witnessed.
Which was Aunt Z against an ancient astromech droid. When will Aunt Z fight again? It can only be spoken of in whispers and never out loud in the tavern.
Never. And that's Star Wars Resistance.
That's the story of Star Wars Resistance. Your 3 3/4 Boca de Beppo action figure coming soon to a galaxy near you. Well, that was a fun first one. For Star Wars Resistance.
We got a lot to mind with that show, and another. We love our bar fights in Star Wars.
That's right. Another tavern. Lots of that market. Oh man, people being thrown off the edge face first. So many things to happen in Star Wars Resistance. It's a fun, rich world.
It is. We got some racing we could do.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Some exploding. A lot of adventures to come. If there are characters that you want to see fight, you can always let us know with the hashtag Databank Brawl. Ken, where can people find you?
You can find me at Ken Napzok across all social media platforms and go to napzokfiles.podomatic.net for more info.
Awesome. And if you like what you hear right here on Databank Brawl on ForceCenter, you can go leave us a review on iTunes or Apple Podcasts or whatever they want to be called. We want to get to 500 ratings, and when we do, we'll do a special episode with major Star Wars characters. We always like to thank Tony Thaxton for our theme music. You can check out his Patreon at patreon.com/CloudCitySoundtrack. You can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/ForceCenter. You can find me personally on Twitter and Instagram as at Joseph Scrimshaw, and check out albums, podcasts, and shows on my website at josephscrimshaw.com. You can, of course, like ForceCenter on Facebook and follow us on Twitter as at ForceCenterPod. And until next time, as Luke Skywalker once said, well, no one was really listening to him. I care. That's it for Databank Brawl.